I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited.
And he was such a fanboy, and I was such a fangirl that and honestly, we text all the time now. He helps me with.
Drake, what you doing having dinner with this girl and meeting up? What you doing, Crody? What you doing, Crody? You too old for her, Crody. They say every lie starts with a kernel of truth. What they said. Who do you guys believe? Man, let's get it.
With everything, like just life lessons. He's amazing. He's a great human being. And we went to dinner afterwards, and we had dinner the next day, and then we met in Sydney.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
Y'all, this Kendrick versus Drake beef is getting really ugly because Kendrick is now out here claiming that Drake is Diddy 2.0 and that he has evidence to back up his claims. Kendrick made some explosive claims about Drake allegedly running a PDF file operation from his Toronto mansion, and fans are now digging into Drake's track record of getting messy around young women in the industry. From young fans at his concert to Kylie Jenner and Millie Bobby Brown, Drake has a documented history of acting like a total creep, and people are finally catching up to it. But see, Kendrick is taking this a step further, and he's claiming that Drake isn't just a weirdo, but a calculated criminal who's been allegedly recruiting people as part of his rumored OVO criminal enterprise. In fact, Kendrick said it's only a matter of time before his mansion is raided like Diddy's. And while Drake has now responded to Kendrick's allegations, his response didn't help his case at all, because all he said is that he's too famous to be a PDF file. Like, be for real. But hold up, does Drake really have a whole list of victims? And what is all this talk about Kendrick allegedly having severe evidence on Drake that could put him in jail for good? Let's break it down.
Drake is finished, bro. I don't know if y'all heard this Kendrick song that just came out, but look at this cover art, bruh. This is Drake's mansion in Toronto, right? These markers are markers. There are offenders all inside of Drake's mansion in Toronto. This is crazy. I feel terrible for anybody that was going for Drake, bro. I feel terrible for y'all. And I feel even worse for people that still gonna root for Drake after this. It's over, bro. Let it go. Drake is...
Really, it's just kids, like kids rooting for Drake. Kids and immature ass adults. Immature ass adults who just do anything for the bag.
Out of here. Hip hop is really bad. Rapping is really bad. All that extra. It's crazy because this might be the best song out of the whole thing. Out of the whole thing, this might be the best track. Imagine somebody making a club banger about you being a... Oh my God, bro. Let this be a lesson. Hey. Do not play.
That's the same thing Rick Ross said. He was like, I hope you think ain't nobody gonna be banging that Heart 6 in the club. You explaining yourself how you ain't no PDF file throughout the whole damn song, bro. Who's gonna bang that in the club? Nobody.
Play with Kendrick Lamar. He's the greatest of his generation. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. He respects the culture. He do what he's supposed to do, and he just knocked off your favorite pop star. Good night.
So on his savage Drake diss track titled Not Like Us, Kendrick raps, "Say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to Cell Block 1. To any B that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him." Kendrick then references Drake's 2021 album Certified Lover Boy, saying that Drake and his OVO team are not lovers, but certified PDF files. But get this, Drake fired back at Kendrick's diss with a track called The Heart Part 6, where he straight up denies those accusations. But here's the kicker. Drake decided to name drop Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown and those disturbing rumors about him allegedly manipulating her. But Kendrick never even mentioned Millie in his track. And now fans are saying Drake just told on himself. So on The Heart Part 6, Drake talks about Kendrick's wife Whitney, basically saying he's he's all about grown women, not young actresses like Millie. And there's also this sneaky wordplay too, because Bobby Brown happens to be Whitney Houston's ex-husband. Drake raps, "Only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager." In the earlier part of the song, Drake also brushes off those accusations about him arguing that those accusations are obviously false, because he's too famous to do that type of stuff. And if there was any truth to those allegations, he'd already be behind bars. Not true. And get this, Drake also wrongly interprets Kendrick's song, "Mother I Sober," from his 2022 release, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where Kendrick explores the topic of SA trauma within his family. Now, if Drake had some media literacy, he would have understood that "Mother I Sober" is not about Kendrick being SA. But on The Hard Part 6, Drake still accuses Kendrick of projecting his supposed SA trauma on him, claiming that he's obsessed with the topic of PDF files because of his own experience. By the way, I feel Drake didn't even realize he just proved Kendrick right with these lines, because in his other diss track, Euphoria, Kendrick predicted that Drake would use his album, Mr. Morale, to fabricate stories about his family. Kendrick raps, "I calculate you're not as calculated. I can even predict your angle, fabricating stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale." So by misinterpreting Kendrick's message in "Mother I Sober," Drake has unintentionally done exactly what Kendrick predicted he would do. But let's go back to that line where Drake says if he was a PDF, he would have already been arrested because he's too famous. Because what does that even mean? It literally took decades for the feds to look into the allegations about R. Kelly, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and all those other sickos. So Drake saying he would already be behind bars if Kendrick's accusations were true makes zero sense. In fact, the more famous and rich these people are, the longer it takes for them to face justice. And then there's also the fact that Drake name dropped Millie Bobby Brown in an attempt.
They got to collect their evidence first. They got to get everything, all they T's crossed and all they I's dotted before they even come at you. Trust me, when they come, they got some shit on you, bro. They just don't come for nothing.
To deny those allegations, even though Kendrick never mentioned Millie in any of his diss tracks. Don't tell me that Drake's ghostwriter slipped up and name-checked Millie Mill by accident. And let me fill you in on how this whole Drake and Millie Bobby situation kicked off. Back in July 2018, Millie, who was just 14 back then, spilled the beans to W Magazine, saying that she and Drake, who was 31 at the time, were in constant communication. According to W, Millie crossed paths with Drake in Australia around November 2017, when she was just 13 years old, while she was out promoting Stranger Things. Drake happened to be doing his own thing down under at the same time, and Millie mentioned to W that Drake personally invited her to his show. "He invited me to his concert," Millie said, "and now we talk all the time. I ask his advice." Now jump ahead a few months, and Drake's friendship with Millie had folks raising even more eyebrows after Millie spilled the beans to Access Hollywood, saying they're still texting each other all the time.
And he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just text each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited.
You can tell those reporters didn't know how to act when Millie mentioned that Drake texts her to say he misses her. And when they asked her what kind of advice Drake gives her, Millie said he helps her with boys.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Fans were understandably all riled up about this whole thing because,
man, look, I'm not texting no 14-year-old, bro.
there's a 17-year age gap between Millie and Drake, and you can't tell me a grown man wants to text back and forth with a 14-year-old. As for Drake, he initially stayed silent on his friendship with Millie, and he finally addressed the backlash for the first time on the song Another Late Night from his 2023 album For All the Dogs, where he threatens folks who mention Millie in his comments and calls them weirdos. Drake raps, "Weirdos in my comments talking about some Billy Bobby. Look, bring them jokes up to the gang. We get to really flocking. Or send a finger to your mama in some FedEx boxes. Open up that ish. It's jaw-dropping, really shocking." But see, Millie Bobby isn't the only young woman Drake allegedly tried to groom. There are also rumors about him making moves on Kylie Jenner before she got involved with Tigger. Back in 2013, when Drake was 27, he performed at Kylie's 16th birthday party, and there's a photo of him kissing Kylie on the cheek. And then there's also this video that recently surfaced showing Drake.
Yeah, we seen that joint, man. Yo, this dude got so much explaining to do, man. And coming to find out now, CMG, the people that offer him that $400 million deal, they coming after Kendrick Lamar asking for an apology. But we about to get into that on the next video. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Big Kiss signing out. We gone.